Hi guys. Hey, Lisa here. Hey, how are you guys doing today? I hope that your day is going well. I know some of you are working from home, you're on your lunch break, and I just want to thank you for coming on. Hi, Deanna. Deanna, I love Deanna. Deanna is an amazing counselor and very wise in her craft and really knowledgeable in temperament. If you are interested in getting some more insight on your temperament, Deanna Fullerton is the one for you. Deanna, put your business name and phone number in the comment for me. She's a Christian counselor with a master's degree, and she loves her job, and she has blessed so many people. Evangelist Early Butler, hello, beautiful. Powerhouse, anointed woman of God. Woo! If you have not heard of From the Outhouse into the Whorehouse into God's house, then you need to go to Amazon and get the book. There's a Kindle version and a paperback version. Evangelist Butler has an amazing testimony. She's also my aunt. But she has an amazing testimony of her life. The pain, the choices, but more importantly, the redemption, what she has gone through. She's a powerful speaker. And so, Evangelist, I know that you are going to be able to relate to what I'm talking about today. You know, I have been discussing speakers. One of the things that I do, and I love to do this, is I help female entrepreneurs, ministry leaders, authors, and speakers build a successful business and speaking platform. I help them build momentum in their influence and their impact. And I also, in the process, help them make a bigger impact and a bigger income. And so the Bible clearly tells us that we are worth our wages. So I am not one to negate that. We are educated, we are knowledgeable, we are experienced. We have gifts and callings, we have purpose, we have talents. And so, you know, a lot of times we tend to hide those things under a bushel, particularly Christians, and we have to stop doing that. God created us to do a work on this earth. Not only did he create us to do the work, but he also wants to bless us. And that includes financial blessings. So if you have a hard time with the idea of financial blessings, then contact me. I would love to talk to you about that. As a matter of fact, if you are serious about growing your business, growing your platform, growing even your authorship and getting more momentum in that, then please chat with me. Go to my link, speakwithlisa.com, and we can have a strategy session and talk about your needs and your goals for 2019. But what's happening right now is I have some clients who are wanting to build a speaking platform. They're wanting to expand the speaking that they do, and some of them are aspiring speakers. So I'm going to spend the next couple of weeks talking about that. And as a matter of fact, I have a workshop coming up on March 9th in Nashville, and I'll have the link for that. We're almost halfway. We're almost at the halfway mark. The seats are limited. There's only 20 seats. So get registered for that if you are serious about a speaking career. So yesterday, I had talked about getting over this idea that you're not worthy, or you don't have enough education, or you don't have enough experience to speak. We all have something that we can share with an audience. Today, I want to talk to you about a fee structure. Talking to several of my newer clients, even talking to colleagues in the past, when we're talking about speaking, a lot of us really don't have a good fee structure. And this was like true for me when I first got started speaking. When I first got started speaking, I was doing training in my area of career, and that was in child development. And at the time, my first paid speaking engagement was $100. And that was because that was what was offered to me. And because I was so excited about the opportunity, and it was something that I love to speak about, hey, I took it. Who know? Extra $100 in my pocket? Why not? Now, this was back in the mid 90s, mid to late 90s. So extra $100 per speaking gig? Well, okay, no problem. And then my next opportunity to get paid speaking came in the area of ministry. And so that was $300. And again, it was because that was what was offered to me. Now, it seemed like a real blessing to me speaking in the area of ministry, because I mean, I love to speak. I love to share the gospel of Christ. I love to teach people about Christ. So that was like a no-brainer. I spoke for at least 6 years for free, sharing the gospel, speaking in churches, speaking at women's groups, speaking, at events like that. So that was not a problem for me. But then God began to deal with me a little bit about that. Excuse me. And so when I received that first blessing of $300, I was like, wow, hey, this is cool. Yeah, I like that. I want to do this again. So after that, I usually stayed within the $305 range when they asked me about my fee, because I also found out that in the realm of ministry work and religious organizations, that they don't have to tax that. And so it was easier for them to offer that. And some churches, depending on their financial situation, it was just easier for them to do that. And of course, since that my fee has grown because of my experience, because of my education. And so I want to talk to you about how you can factor in your speaking fees. I want to see who's on here. Hi, Donna, Prophet Donna Anderson. Girl, let me tell you ministries. Donna has a great online talk show called Girl Chat. So take a look at that at Girl, Let Me Tell You Ministries. She comes on Monday nights. And Donna, I know you don't mind me telling people, but I have coached her and mentored her for many years now. And so she is one of the people who has been blessed and forward moving in her ministry with our work together. And it's real easy. When you have someone who's coachable, you have someone who loves the Lord, you have someone who is wanting to live out that purpose, it is so easy to coach. So I really appreciate you, Donna. Okay, so I want to give you a few factors to consider when you're thinking about how much to ask for, or what that number is to give when the event planner says, how much do you charge? Okay, so when you think about your speaking, there are several things that you want to consider. Are you a keynote speaker? Are you a workshop speaker? And for event planners, that is a difference. Event planners tend to pay keynote speakers, the main speaker, more than workshop speakers, or panel speakers, if you will. So you want to keep that in mind. Also, you want to keep in mind if you are going to speak more than once. So would you be the keynote speaker and maybe a workshop speaker for the same event, or a panel speaker, or maybe even for some event planners, they'll ask you to stay for a luncheon, for a VIP luncheon, and be available to their audience. And so you want to factor all of those things in. For example, if you charge $1,000 as a keynote and they want you to do a workshop also, well, then you need to get paid for that workshop as well. And so you may add $100 to your fee. And so your fee will then be $1,500. So you want to get paid for your time and your expertise. If they're asking you to come to them, then they want to hear from you. They want what you have. And so you have every right to get paid for it. Another factor is traveling expenses. You know, is this just a drive, you know, a few miles away, or are you flying? Are you staying overnight? How much is gas going to cost? How much is your food going to cost? So when you're factoring in your speaking fee, then you want to factor in your traveling expenses. Also, the opportunity to sell. You know, sometimes you have an opportunity to sell from the stage, and sometimes you have an opportunity to sell your products. So I know many of you have probably gone to conferences where the speakers have huge product tables, you know, particularly books. I know back in the day for Christian events, there was usually books, CDs, tapes, DVDs, you know, shirts, bags. So you have an opportunity to sell at some speaking events, and you can factor that in. So let's just say your normal speaking fee is $2,000, but they say, hey, that's a little bit out of our price range. You know, the lowest I can go is $1,500 or $1,000. Well, then you can negotiate and say, okay, well, is there an opportunity for me to sell my products? And if they say yes, then that's gravy, because that way you can bring in more income through your products. How am I doing, guys? Everybody trekking with me? Oh my gosh, hi, Natasha. Yeah, so has anyone had a speaking opportunity where they were able to sell their products as well, or even talk about their services? Now, Deanna, I know you have been to events and you have been able to set up some tables. Yeah, and Donna, you have an event coming up this year. Very excited for you on that. So yeah, those are some things that you can consider. Also, your experience. You know, now I work with a lot of aspiring and emerging speakers. So what that means is they might not have the 100 gig experience, but as your experience grows, then you can steadily raise your fees. And you will have some event planners that will ask about your experience speaking. And so this is one of the benefits of unpaid speaking. When you get an opportunity to speak for free, you know, and it's an optimal opportunity for you, then I always recommend people take advantage of that, because that helps you add another check to your speaking experience. It also has other benefits. You can also do your, you know, one of the big things about speaking is you want to be able to have some video footage. You want to be able to have some social proof. And so those free gigs can offer that to you. So far we've talked about how much are you speaking? How many times are you going to be speaking? Your travel expenses. Will you be able to sell product or sell from the stage? And your experience. And then the last one to consider, and there's plenty more, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to give you this one because these are the most obvious ones. The last one to consider is your materials. Are you going to provide materials for the audience? And that's a big deal, because if you have a small audience, it's not so bad. But when you get into your 200, 300, 400 size audience, then you need to consider how you're going to get that information to them. And that's when you definitely want to go electronic. But those are some ways to factor in how much you should charge for speaking. Hi, Luann. Luann is a writer. She is the admin for Power Fueled Living. She'll be doing their blogs, and I'm very excited to work with her. Very knowledgeable woman. So, hey guys, how many of you would like to make extra money speaking? Give me a yes. How many of you would like to make extra money speaking? Now, Donna, I know you and I have talked about speaking. How much would you like to make a year, or even this year? If you could make extra money with your speaking gig, how much would you like to make this year? I'm loving these. Thank you. Thanks, Deanna. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for participating. Good. So anybody, let me see. Donna, I don't see. Oh, $10,000. Awesome. Okay. So Donna, how many speaking gigs would you like to do this year? If you could make $10,000 this year speaking, how many speaking opportunities would you like to have? I think I have a little delay here. I can wait though. So $10,000, because I'm going to do some math with you. All right, so let's take a look here. So this is easy math, guys. So Donna wants to make $10,000. Okay, at least 6. So let's say 5 or 6 gigs. Okay. So this is easy math. So what you want to do is, once you decide how much money you want to make and how many times you want to speak, you're just going to divide it. So that's easy math. Thank you. So that's 2,000. So your fee then should be between $1,800 to $2,000 per speaking gig. That's how much you're going to charge to get your $10,000. How many of you are comfortable with that? And you know, this is within the realm of the average professional speaker's request. $1,500 to $3,000 is average. But I got a feeling, because I've had this conversation so many times with my clients who are aspiring and emerging, that this might feel a little uncomfortable for you. And so that's when you have to decide if you're just going to strengthen yourself, believe in yourself, and make the request, or if you're going to find other ways to bring in this $10,000. And so and that's what I do with my clients. We work on that. We talk about those things and those strategies and tools that we can use to bring in their desired annual amount. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Let me do a quick review. Let me see. I see some people coming in. Oh my gosh. Hello, Miss Ethel Martin. Oh my gosh, fantastic woman of God, great ministry in Valdosta, Georgia. Worked with her for many years doing, when I was doing my teen outreach. Hello to you, beautiful. All right, so let me do just a quick preview. Okay, don't stress over how much to charge. Calculate these factors and start there. You want to calculate how many times you're going to speak. And you want to get paid for every speaking opportunity. So if you're going to do 2 workshops, you charge for 2 workshops. If you're going to do a keynote and a workshop, if you're going to do a keynote and a panel, if you're going to do a workshop and a panel, you factor all of those things in. And actually, since we were talking about meeting this goal, if you're not comfortable with asking for this, you can, if you have a speaking gig, let's say over a weekend, and you can take a look, and this is what I tell my clients, you can take a look at other opportunities to speak while you are in that area. You can also, the person that you're speaking for, talk to them about speaking again and getting a down payment for that next speaking opportunity, okay? So there's some ways to get your number, all right? So then you want to talk about, you want to consider traveling expenses. You want to consider sales. Will you have an opportunity to sell products? Sell from the stage. You also want to consider your experience. You know, if you have been speaking, it doesn't matter what size audience, if you have been speaking for a while, you're an experienced speaker, then guess what? That's an upcharge. So, you know, don't settle for, well, you know, I've only been speaking for free for the last 10 years. Duh, 10 years of speaking? Okay, so you can charge your worth. You also want to consider your experiences. So those are 5 factors that I want you to consider when deciding your speaking fee. Any last comments or questions? Thank you guys for joining me. Replay viewers, hashtag replay. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if this is resonating for you. Let me know if you need help. But also take advantage of the opportunity. If you're in the Nashville area, Murfreesboro area, take advantage of the opportunity to attend my Speak for Pay workshop on March 9th. I'm going to give you 5 steps to paid speaking gigs. So if you have not been getting paid for your speaking, if you're an aspiring speaker, an emerging speaker, even if you're a professional speaker and not getting paid, then please attend the workshop. I'll have the Eventbrite link for you. Seats are limited for real, not just saying that for hype. I only have 20 seats available, and we're almost to the halfway mark for that. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your support. Please share the information. Please share the link. And you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye-bye.